Welcome to the Rebel Crone, everybody. This is Elisa, and today's video is all about raising your vibration. And what does that mean? This is part of a series that I'm doing to help demystify some of these terms, that some of these buzzwords that are going around nowadays, like, oh, just raise your vibration, as if it's the most natural thing to do. Well, in fact, it is the most natural thing to do, but is there a special technique? How do we do that? What's involved with it? Well, let's look at it together in a very simplified version. Oftentimes, I find that the real power inherent in things is when I make it really simple, because life to me isn't a complicated thing. It's supposed to be an easy thing, a thing of ease. So let's look at raising our vibration, how it can be the most easy thing you do, actually the most natural thing that you do. If you want to raise your vibration, it's really important to understand the relationship of you to the invisible of who you are, to your higher self, your true self, the mortal within. Now, there's old ways that people have gone about doing it, which I think are a little more challenging, and there's the new way. So let's first describe the old way. In the old way of raising your vibration came about because there was a mindset that here you are, this little person right here, sweet little heart right there, and there's your higher self up here. And to be able to get in contact with your higher self, you got to raise your vibration so that this connection can happen, that you can grow this little, your heart here, you could say it's also your light from within. This is my little light here, wanting to shine so desperately, wanting to be expressed in the world, wanting to just be the beautiful me that I know that I am. So I've got to raise my vibration to connect to, this is my higher self out here. This is the immortal, this is true me, is up there. And if I can raise my vibration enough, then I can connect, and then I can be imbued with all the beauty and wonder and power and inspiration that's of my higher self. You know, this took a lot of work to do this. There's a lot of techniques, there's a lot of traditions, a lot of lineages that explain this whole process of reconnecting the two. Let me propose a different way, a different view of it. And I think this is the view that's really coming more into consciousness right now, because it is actually the more natural way, the easier way of doing it all, because it's more aligned to the truth. So instead of having a higher self out there, oh, let me finish this up a minute. So here's the higher self, and then here would be the big I am. This would be source. And of course, we don't worry about this because self is, you know, our higher self is contained to that. So it's like this progression. It's maybe more of a linear way of looking at things, of a progression of filtering down. Okay, so instead, let's look at it this way. Let's look at you right here and your little heart and your little light within. So instead of looking at growing that little light inside so we can connect to our higher self, what if I propose here that this is your higher self right here? That turned out a little more egg shape. This is your higher self right here, and you are contained within. So it's not a thing of something out there that I've got to grow and connect to. There's something I have to do or strive or achieve, techniques or whatever, or mantras, specific things to say to get there. The truth of it is that we're already there. You are already you. You are a projection of your consciousness. Your consciousness is projecting and holding you. Another way of saying projecting is your consciousness is holding you. It's containing you. You're within it. That little light of yours is contained within the big light of who you are. So there's nothing that you actually have to do to achieve that. There's nothing to achieve. What it really is, you just have to be that. You're a human being after all, right? You're not a human doing. I remember when I first said that to Maurice, my Thursday with Maurice bud, He got a good kick out of that because we aren't human doings, we're human beings. We simply have to come back to a natural state that is contained within the higher self, which then is contained with higher and higher versions, and ultimately the I am source contains it all. Of course, we couldn't have parameters around it because there is no boundaries around it, but there is the I am source that contains everything. Just like that, it's like spheres within spheres within spheres, and then here it is, us right here. So it's like so cool. So all right, how do we then, the question is, how do we just be then? Well, there's certain things that we do that are against that, right? That go against the just beingness. One of the biggest things we can do is we can allow. Is the process of allowing is key to all of this. And that happens right in here. Once again, just like I did in the channeling video, is I'm going to draw a little sphere around the human being, and that is your zone of free will. For spirit to penetrate into the zone of free will, you have to allow it. You have to give it permission. You have to say, here I am, come to me. I am here to receive. This is the projection. I am here to receive. And then we allow that in. It's all a matter of free will. It's about allowing it so that we can actually be and connect to what is containing us. It's all very, very simple when you look at it from this perspective. And I like to make things simple. I don't think this whole nature of reality and the nature of coming into our individuality and being empowered people is a complex thing. It's something very natural. It's how the whole thing is set up for us to do this. We just have to remember because we've forgotten. And the remembering process right now is starting to go on steroids. More and more people are just waking up and remembering things. Like, isn't it so true when you're inspired and you're listening to somebody, you're just like, one of the first things that comes through for me is like, I knew that, I know that, I remember, now I remember, thank you. You know, sometimes it may be, oh, that's a new information, but when it's ready to hit home, man, it's that feeling of remembering. So I hope this reminds you of who you are, how easy it is to actually be you. There's nothing complex you have to do. It is the process of allowing. But here's the tricky thing, is that you have this zone of free will. And the zone of free will can get clouded. It can get obstructed. It can thicken and harden so that spirit can't get in. I mean, it'll get through. If it stops getting through, you're dead, right? Silver cord's broken, boom, done. But it will get through, but what comes through is going to be a distortion. So maybe we'll look at like the straight line of spirits, like straight as an arrow coming through, and then it gets here and it goes, and it gets all kind of jumbly up, only because this membrane here is all jumbled. How do we unjumble that membrane? How do we smooth it out? Well, you have to do your inner work, right? And the inner work is about taking responsibility for you in your life. It is about really relaxing the tensions. What's getting you tense? What makes you tense? Is there a lot of tensions in your life? And it's not, let's say if it's coming from a person or a place or things out there, it's not about, well, I should say it's not necessarily about getting rid of them in your life. It's how you interface with them. It's how you respond to them. That's the key. Stop responding to them. Be the creator in your life. Be proactive instead of reactive. You know, the huge difference there. Something to meditate on, which is the other thing I want to talk a little bit about is meditation, because that is a technique out there where people calm their minds so that they can be more in tune with their heart and more connected to the love and the ambiance of love that contains of joy that contains us. For a long time in my life, I felt really challenged by meditating, and I felt that there was something wrong with me because I couldn't just sit down and what I thought was meditating was like clear my mind and have no thoughts and just be. And I found it really challenging to do that. Every time I sat down to just be and meditate, I would, get my mind all relaxed, and then I'd start to be hyper creative. all the stuff would start coming through. And it was like, oh, okay, quiet my mind. And it just, that wasn't the process for me. And now I've come to recognize that there's nothing wrong with that. That for me, meditation is a very creative process. Now, if I'm in my monkey mind when I sit down or I go for a walk or whatever I'm doing about being in that meditative connected state, if I'm caught in my monkey mind and worrying about things or ruminating about the past or worrying about the future, I'm not in the right now. So it's about really relaxing in right now and getting focused. And when I do, it's such a beautiful thing, because that's when my own personal channeling happens. That's when I bring in information for me from my higher self. And now I'm sharing a lot of that with you through my YouTube channel, through the Rebel Crone, which is my form of channeling. It's just my form of getting clear from my higher self and understanding things, testing them out, and finding what's true about them, and then sharing them. And whether they fit for the people listening, that's great. And if they don't, that's great too. I mean, it's okay. We all have a different perspective. We all need to hear different things, and different things will resonate with us or they won't. But anyways, back to this, is this membrane, this whole free will area, is to really get that to clear, to really have that be open and available, to have a clear as message as possible coming in. Now, granted that there is a lot of tensions outside of ourselves, there's tensions in society, there's tensions from the subconscious of humanity, of the traumas and the, oh my gosh, and the lies and the manipulations. There's the subterranean aspects. There's just all kinds of depth down into humanity where we have been really, really challenged, and we've been taken way off course from who we really are. And these things have to be let go of. We can't clarify them in directly, I'm going to untangle those things. They will naturally become untangled for us as we relax. We relax into who we are. We remember the lies the lies that aren't true, that things have been told us. We're not born in original sin. You know, we don't have to repent. We don't have to sacrifice. We don't have to do all these things to try to get, you know, the love of God out there. No, we just have to be. We're perfect. We're beautiful. We are this amazing immortal being. We just have to let that immortal being express through us. And in harmony, we do it together. We bring in our creative capacities as the individual that we are, how we're designed so uniquely. You know, there's never been and there never will be another you ever. Who you are right now is this beautiful, beautiful, precious creation. And it's got something to do. It's got a unique expression to bring forth. And what joy is it for our spirit to have these creations of these bodies and these personalities, you know, and how much our spirits, our higher self, long to have that expression through this unique creation, and bring in just that specific unique creation, you know, that beauty and joy of who that individual is. Well, that is us. And for me, there's nothing more that I've ever wanted my whole life than to be who I am. In fact, I'll let you in on something, that my personal prayer, my whole life, I've only had one prayer, and that is to be who I'm meant to be. I've only ever wanted to be who I'm meant to be. It's like, I know I'm Elisa for a reason, and I'm here for a reason. And what is it? Who is this? Who is this person? You know, so that has been my quest my whole life, is to figure out who I am. Yeah, so it's been an exciting adventure. It's led me right to where I am, which is perfect. And it's just getting better all the time. And part of it especially is when I came to understand just the ease that this process is, because it's the ease of just being, that I don't have to try to do anything out there. It's nothing out there I can do that is going to uplift me and raise my vibration. It's not. It's about allowing my vibration to raise naturally, because that's who it is. I'm naturally connected. I'm naturally contained. I shouldn't say connected. I'm naturally contained within my higher self, and that beautiful, high vibrating being is just all around me, wanting access. Give it access. Give your higher self access. Figure out ways that make that work for you. When you feel the tensions come in, how can you dissipate them? Go for a walk. Is there a specific friend that you want to talk to? Is it just quiet time? Is it drawing? Is it writing? I mean, I have my little things I love to do, creative things, embroidery or puzzles or stuff where it just, I feel the tensions just relax and I can start I feel like I come back centered. So find those things that bring you joy. Find those things that bring a pause into your world that allows the tensions to just relax. And then when you're in that relaxed state, just relish the feelings of peace that come in. Relish the feelings about feeling good about who you are, enjoy and excitement about life. Relish those and hold on to those. Those are yours. That's your birthright. Right there's your birthright. And then let that permeate and seep into the rest of your world. So pretty soon your whole world, whatever you do, can be imbued and can be contained in this remembering and allowing of who we are. Anyways, I hope this is helpful to you. Raising your vibration, just let it happen. It's as simple as that. Let it happen. When things get in the way of it, be courageous and look at what's getting in the way and how to let that go in your world. Sometimes there's a process involved and sometimes it's just a matter of, I let that go now. That old story, gone. I don't have to go in and dive in and sort it out. That doesn't necessarily have to happen. May sometimes for some of you, for the most part, we can just let go of those things that are getting in the way, let go of those tensions, let go of those old stories, and embrace the new one that's available to us right now. And that is the beauty and immenseness that you are, that contains you. Just allow it in, my friends, and enjoy. Enjoy being you and celebrate that because it's a beautiful, unique thing that'll never come around again. So I hope that that's helpful, and I hope that you find that encouraging and uplifting and just a reminder or maybe some new information. Either way, it's all cool. Give me your comments below. And if you haven't subscribed, subscribe, like, turn on notifications, and we will talk with you real soon. Peace from within always.